my mind. I haven't been playing in a while. We do have some Street Fighter Six, coming with us. But in the meantime, though, Capcom has not stopped in actually doing some awesome stuff that I'm actually liking even more. That it isn't just Capcom, to be honest. This is actually going to also double for SNK. But Capcom made the latest announcement where they're just crossing over into IPs that don't really have any kind of. I mean, okay, competition. We have that in common, right? You're competing, but that's about it. So we got some Street Fighter skins that have dropped to Fall Guys. We got Cammy, we've got some Akuma, which I love the fact that they still gave Akuma the super gnarly, brow bones, right? And Ryu, of course, getting dropped in there. I swear I'm not trying to say drop just because it's Fall Guys, but like that they're actually like moving into other IPs. I mean, Fortnite was another one, right? Like that one was kind of crazy to see that we have, Ryu with the Gat and all that. We got we have Fortnite damn near becoming a new, it's basically the next Marvel vs. Capcom. It's the closest we're ever getting to it. Now they're in Fall Guys where there's, you could have Akuma race against SpongeBob SquarePants or something, which I think that's actually another one of their skins that they have in there, amongst others. I think this is great. This is just a way of catering and kind of throwing it to the casuals that, hey, this is also another franchise that exists that may have forgotten, might not even realize Street Fighter V has a circuit or, has continued to have this insane competitive scene. Like, this is still, like, news to people. So these are avenues that, for one, I'm sure the licensing, they got some change from every transaction, every Akuma that gets sold. They're definitely getting something in their pocket. But on top of that, it's just great awareness. And also, hey, we're gamers, right? Like, fighting game players are gamers, as much as some people might say, like, hey, I can't play non-fighting games anymore, I don't like it. It's like, that's cool, but there's a lot of us that still, that definitely do game and play in other things, and it's really cool when you can inject some of your fighters in those other games you enjoy. If you do enjoy Fall Guys, and you happen to be an Akuma main, or a Cammy main, or a Ryu main, then this will probably be your go-to. You even got, the emotes to boot, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, and Brian F can be happy that they didn't go just Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li.
Exactly. Yeah, they went just slightly different, just ever so slightly.
Went to Akuma.
Yeah. Went to Akuma with the camp.
They're called just World Warriors.
Exactly. But yeah, so they've made it out, and like I said earlier, SNK is the next one. Actually, I wanted to bring up only because Fighting Game Daily _daily on Twitter had a really interesting post about it. Well, they just showed off like just the crossovers that SNK has had. You've got Tekken, Fall Guys as well. Yeah, once again, SNK has also made it into Fall Guys. Fall Guys, they had the All-Star Fighters X Street Fighter, like their mobile game that literally it's not just Street Fighter. Like you've got WWE involved, you got Guilty Gear, you've got Sam Show, you've got all of this.
Made it into Power Rangers.
Street Fighter made it into Power Rangers, right? It's still FGC, but hey. And of course, Smash and even just like the crossover art, right, during Evo that they posted up between Street Fighter and SNK, where it's like kind of just fueling the fire of like what SNK clearly, like, especially when we covered it last week, where the CEO's like, we're going to take our IPs and we're going to start jumping into other genres. This is them just starting to just be like, we're just going to be more open to just throwing these characters out and letting them collab with other series, which is a really good move.
Yeah, like, obviously, somebody wants it done. Somebody somewhere wants it to be done. Not just the fans, but someone in development. It's like, okay, these characters have met everywhere else. Why can't they meet up again?
Yeah, here? For real. Just give us a Capcom vs. SNK 3, please.
Yeah, but like, who do you want to develop it? Capcom?
Ooh,
because
that's a damn good question.
Because the way KOF is looking, it's like I'm scared of what the next patch is gonna bring. Like, are they actually gonna make Yashiro still keep him like the best character in the game? Will they unnecessarily nerf other characters again? Like King did not need the nerf she had, or you know what I mean? Like
what if they
develop the game?
What if they? I don't know. Give it to ArcSys. Let them just do some weird thing. Make it the trifecta. The trifecta. Right. ArcSys, SNK, and Capcom in one game. That'd be kind of wild.
And that's the thing. We saw what they did with SVC Chaos, and that game is.
You know what? I'm a fan of how SVC Chaos made some of the characters look.
Yeah,
Like
same.
I think,
Even
like
Zero.
I think Guile looked great. I think Hugo looked
Hair,
amazing.
Like Giles, like
Yeah, his hair was ridiculous. I loved
yeah,
it.
his hair was the whole
Hugo was huge. He was massive, like how he was intended to be, like Abigail size, but like even bigger.
felt realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There was a little tweak to it that I enjoyed.
Violent Ken, yeah.
Violent Ken. Yeah, she's super
Mr. Karate,
cheap. Or
Tengu,
even cats like oh my god, not
Tengu, that's
I
Better Life.
almost said Dimitri.
No, he was in it. Yeah.
No. Is it Dimitri? Yeah, I'm thinking Donovan for some reason. But yeah, Dimitri, how he looked in it. Yeah, the Midnight Blisses from Donovan in there looks sick as hell.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Go check that out. But
Firebrand or Red Hammer was weird.
yeah. Fun fact
Broken
for
was weird.
if you're an FTC head, more of a newer side, like Firebrand's first appearance in a fighting game actually was not Marvel 3. It was in SBC Chaos, an even more obscure game that you unless you were around and you just knew it, you really wouldn't come across that game in conversation.
Dare I say it was also Zero's.
Zero, yes.
But Zero, not from the X series, but
It was from the
Game Boy
Mega Man
Advance.
Zero, right?
Mega Man X. Yeah, Mega Man Zero. Yeah,
Mega Man Zero, yeah.
'Cause he had the little elves and all of that. But yeah, interesting.
So I like the direction where fighting games are just kind of like not being so closed, because I think they're kind of, it's gotten to a point where it's like it cannot be a closed environment, an ecosystem where you're not collaborating more, because the more you collaborate, the more you're just exposing yourself to more and more audiences, not just internally. Internally is great, like having Akuma and Geese in Tekken. I mean, except if you're a Tekken player, you'd be like, this is awesome. If you actually do play the game, you're like, fuck those characters. I get it. Don't worry. I'm not obscuring your words. But the idea that Tekken, is a game that there's a lot of casuals that just know Tekken, right? Tekken is just as, culturally appropriated as Street Fighter is, but to also now have these other IPs to cross over into it shows that they're slowly just, opening up the doors like, hey, we just want to collab. Everyone knows our characters. It's not going to tarnish our character or the brand if they're associated with these other ones. I mean, MK is another a different case, but that's just because that's a whole other, that's a whole other way of just how they present their game and the style game they are.
Right. I don't know if you saw that one interview where they asked him a bunch of questions from the developers. They literally said, they said what I always say. Yeah, we're not really sure if we can see Ryu's head getting chopped off.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's like, maybe off screen, but I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. It's like, hey, the New Blood. Yes, that's what I love. Yeah, it was like when they did like the 100 quick questions or something like that off of them. That was really cool. But I just wanted to make a note on this collab that that these fighting game developers are doing. It's just, I think it's overall just great for the health for them, for business, and for us, the consumers. So I'm looking forward to seeing what 2023 is going to be like.
My last thought on it is just, the best moments of fighting games was when X-Men vs. Street Fighter had combined. Like when they just showed up and we're like, this can happen. These worlds can collide. And the music, and I talked about the music all like last week. Like
there's
it was
just
such a time.
There's just
like,
no.
I can't believe this can happen.
There's just no stronger like handshake that could be felt across the world than that Ryu and Cyclops one. Like I don't know what it is, bro, but they just like when those hands just collided and just like you could just feel it, especially if you were in the arcade, man. Especially if you were there in those days and you just heard it and you sort of just like they gripped up. I was like, that's it. This was something like it's never gonna be the same. Absolutely. And I hope that we get a second win to that.